Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Golokananda Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So as I announced earlier, our program is, we'll have few short offerings. If any one of you would like to speak any words of glorification of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, whose Tirobha we are celebrating today, or any memories you would like to share, keep it brief, and we'll just have a few minutes for offerings. And then after that we'll have a talk, and then we'll proceed downstairs and we'll have our prasadam for everyone. Okay, so first we would like to request His Grace Drishta Prabhu, who is here, to actually speak a few words on glorification of Maharaj, or any memories Prabhuji you would like to share. Would you like to come this side? Yeah, please.
Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharni Nirvasesa Shunyavadi Prashacha Deshtarni Jai. Jai Vaishnava Thakura Jai Bhakti Shru Maharaj Ki Jai. It's hard to describe a great personality like Bhakti Shru Maharaj briefly, but I will speak briefly. I remember very vividly when he first joined the movement. I had already been in the movement for a short time, and we heard about this very advanced and amazing personality that Prabhupada had given initiation to, and very quickly we all saw how close he became to Prabhupada, because we can understand that a personality like Bhakti Shru Maharaj had been close to Prabhupada at other times in this long existence that we've all had eternally. So I did not know him so well. I did not see him very often. But the one thing, remarkable aspect of Bhakti Shru Maharaj was that he remembered everyone. And he always had the warmest regards for all devotees. This is a sign of a devotee who's very, very advanced, because their heart is soft. And I remember on a number of occasions coming to like the Juhu Beach Temple one day, and there are so many devotees there, and Bhakti Shru Maharaj was there in a distance, and he comes over to me and greets me personally. Out of hundreds of devotees there, so many devotees there, he took the time to come and greet Rudrani and myself personally. It's this sort of personal touch of a pure devotee that actually makes others become devotees. This is such very important to understand. He was close to all his god brothers. He was unparalleled in his following of Vaishnava etiquette and giving himself to others. And I do remember those last days in 2020 when he was ill, and it did remind me to some extent of when Prabhupada was ill at the end, and everyone was praying like anything that he would stay, but knowing that it was up to Krishna what was going to happen, because the dear devotee of Krishna, he and Krishna have a plan together. And it felt very much when he passed away, when he left us, it was very similar also to when Srila Prabhupada left, that the whole movement was moved. Everyone was affected, everyone was touched. There were tears and there were memorials everywhere for Bhakti Charu Maharaj. So such a great devotee. And so auspicious his passing. He left this world on the day that Sanatana Goswami left. He left this world on Guru Purnima. This is not ordinary. So we should all remember His grace, His holiness, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, and hold him in our hearts, and always remember how those who, I don't remember the exact quote, but the Vaishnava never dies. He lives in sound. And he's giving Krishna consciousness to someone somewhere else. Srila Bhakti Charu Maharaj ki jai.
His Grace Drishta Prabhu ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very profound words. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, I remember when I first met Bhakti Charu Maharaj, I was just near to Krishna consciousness. And I was living in Texas at that time, and there was a big celebration. I wasn't sure what that celebration was about, of Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. Thank you very much. Thank you. I wasn't very aware who Lord Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra were, but that was in the farm that Dallas had in Oklahoma. It was a huge farm. And I had been invited, so I went. And there were lots of devotees, mostly from Dallas, the Dallas temple. And there was this big procession and this glorification of Lord Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. And it was Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Bhakti Charu Maharaj, the ones who were doing this program. And I remember hearing the singing of Bhakti Charu Maharaj, which was so sweet and so enchanting and so filled with bhav and devotion. I was very impressed by seeing that personality. And because of this procession, this actually celebration in Oklahoma, that Tamal Krishna Maharaj, with the information that he was receiving from Bhakti Charu Maharaj, went ahead and proceeded to write a play on the pastimes of Lord Jagannath, Priya Nataka. And that was eventually performed for the first time in Mayapur, I believe in 1986, and it's become a classic. And thanks to the input of Bhakti Charu Maharaj that took place. Of course, in the course of so many years, we've met Bhakti Charu Maharaj several times, many times, and he was always very personable and very, his attitude toward receiving somebody was very, very beautiful, the way he dealt with anybody and everybody, respecting them and offering them his presence and his words. Bhakti Charu Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Anyone else would like to make a quick offering or a few words they would like to share? Okay.
Hare Krishna. When I was a new devotee, we got the tapes, the VHS tapes of Abhay Charan videos, and we were just a young devotee yatra in Serbia in the early 90s, and or it was later 90s, I guess, and we received a set of VHS tapes, and we all got together on the weekends, and we really couldn't wait to see more of those. And we know that Bhakti Charu Maharaj had a tremendous love for Srila Prabhupada, and then he had the desire to make all these videos on Srila Prabhupada's life, and we really didn't know much about Prabhupada himself, just what we read in his books, and it was really enjoyable to watch. And also here, he sang all the songs in the videos, and we didn't know him. And then when I moved here, he used to come maybe once a year. There were some devotees here, I think they were making granola bars. So he would come, and we had his association, and he was a very, very sweet devotee. So we had really fond memories of him. Hare Krishna.
So, Hare Krishna. So, Maharaj, it's been like 4 years. I am thinking it's like eternity. I have not seen you. Like there was a period of time of my life where I used to see you almost every month, sometime here in Mayapur or in Kolkata. But now it's been like 4 years. Okay. So I have so many fond memories with him, because it's like even after 4 years, whenever I see red roses, I think it only belongs to you. You should always have those red rose garlands that adorns your beautiful orange and glowing and red body. It looks like morning sunrise when you come out of the courtyard of Radha Madhav. And then how fond memories. I just heard this past time that he and my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, eternally friends, have shared this. When at the time of Prabhupada's book distribution time, and then they were, I think not Prabhupada has already left by then, but then so Maharaj and my Guru Maharaj used to distribute books in Kolkata. And so they had a whole bag, whole truck full of books. So there were the devotees who were there from morning all the way in the evening. They're distributing books. And then by the time it was, but Maharaj and my Guru Maharaj were in the temple preparing the prasadam for all the devotees who are at book distribution. So then they come with a car full of prasadam, and they feed all the devotees who are doing distribution. And they said, "You eat, we both will distribute books now. Don't worry." So then these two are on the streets. So one is a foreign American body speaking Bengali, and another one is a Bengali body speaking fluent English. So this combination, Kolkata could not take it. And like by the time they finished eating, all the books that were there in the stack was gone. Just the time of prasadam, all the books are gone. And then there is one more incident that somebody went and told Prabhupada that Bhakti Charu Maharaj, when he goes out on book distribution, he goes and eats rasagullas from the sweet shops. Because it's impossible for a Bengali to pass by a sweet shop and not have it. So it's impossible. So then he actually said that he is doing, so then Prabhupada, it's okay. It is okay, everything, he can do that. So like, Prabhupada knew the heart of being a Bengali person, and sometimes he was so dear to Prabhupada that Prabhupada allowed him. So I always think that, so Bhakti Charu Maharaj, Prabhupada, I have two reasons. So whenever I cross in Kolkata streets and I have a Rasagulla store, I definitely will go inside, because I have my acharyas following it. So I am surely going to do that. And so this is a fond memory. I don't want to remember all the disappearance pastimes or anything. But yes, thank you, Maharaj, for giving me so many memories, so many caring words and compassionate words, and so So like caring, how are you? He will look at me, just how Dishta Prabhu said. He saw me here and said, what are you doing here? So yes, Maharaj, I got married, I come here, what to do? My whole life. So like, oh, where is your husband? Bring him. So my Prabhu goes and says, you have an opportunity to stay in Mayapur. She has a house, her family is there. Why do you want to bring the soul out and make her suffer here? So my Prabhu always remembers that as his check to go back to Dhams eventually when we retire or anything like that. So he's the only, Maharaj only said that. Nobody else said that to my Prabhu then. So thank you for all the sweet things. You're always there in my heart. Never separable. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. His Holiness Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj ki jai. So now we'd like to invite His Grace Vikasana Krishna Prabhu, who is going to give the talk today. And as I mentioned earlier, Prabhuji was just in India and he was touring the holy places in Himalayas. So we have something known as a Char Dham in the Himalayas. So Prabhuji is going to talk more about his yatra and share some experiences. So we are all inspired to take that journey to the Himalayas to visit these beautiful places. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna. So after the class, we'll have a wonderful prasadam, and today we cook like a much bigger, much opulent feast because everyone who knows His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj always remembers his mood of serving prasadam. So we have an offering downstairs after the class, and also coming up on our calendar. Actually, next Saturday, as we had planned earlier in the year, we had planned a new Goloka picnic. Right, so that's actually next Saturday, and we'll keep a track on the weather because it's been raining. But if the weather is good, next Saturday we will have a picnic. So please stay in touch with all our WhatsApp and our email, and we'll be sending out more information. Okay, it'll be Saturday afternoon if the weather is good. Okay, so keep that in mind, and then otherwise we have Sri Balram Purnima and Janmashtami coming up next month. So we are already starting all the preparations for that. So mark your calendars and be prepared to dive in the mood of seva for these festivals. Hare Krishna.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रसाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति चारु स्वामिनिति नामिने स्निग्धचेता सुप्रणेता वाग्विनम च रसप्रदम प्रभुपाद गतप्राणनवमी भक्ति चारुपदम नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रसाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदामयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् Can you make this a little lower? Got it. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Can everybody in the back see the screen? Yes. Nice and clear? Hari Bol. Cannot hear on the... How about now? It's too low. Hare Krishna. Better? Hari Bol. Can everybody in the back see the screen? Thank you. So, in the month of June, pretty much the whole month of June, myself and my family, we were all out in India, and we were going out to get the darshan of the Holy Dham. And we got back first week of July. So I was instructed, I had a few more things after that actually. So what I was instructed to actually share about the Char Dham Yatra. Char Dham Yatra is actually, Char means 4. So there are 4 dhams. And so the pilgrimage to those 4 dhams is the topic of our discussion today. It'll be helpful if you can all come forward, because there is going to be, a lot of information on the screen. The Char Dhams, so there are actually 2 Char Dhams in India. So there's one set of Char Dhams which is up in the Himalayas, and that's the Char Dham of Uttarakhand, Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath and Badrinath. And then there's another Char Dham which is on the 4 points of India, from Badrinath, Puri, and Rameshwaram, and Dwarka Dham. So this Char Dham Yatra that I'll be discussing is the 4 dhams up in the Uttarakhand area. So before we actually started to Char Dham Yatra, we actually made a trip out to Ayodhya. It's not required that one goes to Ayodhya before you start the Char Dham Yatra, but because we had a desire to do, then we prayed to Lord Ram to please make it happen. He allowed the itinerary to be in such a way that we were able to go to Ayodhya and get the darshan. So Ayodhya is located right here, south, hold on. It's located southeast of New Delhi. Okay, good. So it's located southeast of New Delhi. So you fly to New Delhi and then you fly down to Ayodhya. That's where it's located. As soon as you land in Ayodhya, because of everybody knows about the history of Ayodhya and the recent developments that have happened, the Ayodhya airport has transformed very, very magnificently. And everywhere, it's hard to miss. It's like everywhere you see, you'll all see Ramayan, Ram Leela, Ram, Sita, Lakshman, Hanuman. Everywhere you see, you'll see it. So there's these wonderful murals at the Ayodhya airport. You'll see on the left-hand side, this is actually like a carving at the Ayodhya airport. On this right-hand side, this is the various paintings and the murals in Ayodhya airport, and it just goes all around. Obviously, when we go to Ayodhya, we actually visited the Ram Janmabhoomi. This is the Ram Janmabhoomi temple. It has a lot of significance, a lot of history behind it. I'm not going to get into that. You all know, or you can do Google. 500-year-old history, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that eventually, and a lot of prayers to Lord Ram to make this temple happen. And eventually, earlier this year, in January, the temple did manifest, and the Ram Janmabhoomi temple is absolutely, I should say, it's majestic. And it's like, the construction is still going on, but you can see, no matter where you see, I see here all the places, there's temple that's constructed, and there's still more construction going on. So it is absolutely gorgeous just to look at the temple and be there. And of course, when you go in and get the darshan of Lord Ram, it's just completely takes us away, completely gone. Okay, this is it. Dandavats, I'm here to at your service. Let me know what I can do. And so, by the mercy of online darshans and internet and things like that, I was able to get this one picture of Ram Lala that I'd like to share with you. This Ram Lala, Lord Ram, he is so beautiful. He's a boy. He's so beautiful that the person who was actually carving the deity before the deity installation ceremony happened in the temple, that person, he was an expert. He's a really spiritualist. He's an expert at carving deities. He's really done a lot of work. And when he was carving the deity, he said that the expression on the face of Lord Ram was different when he had the deity ready before the installation. And after the installation ceremony happened, the expression changed. And he said, so this deity that we are looking at is not the deity that I carved. Lord Ram himself has appeared in this deity. And so this is the deity of Lord Ramachandra. And here is a side profile. Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki! And as we go to Ayodhya, there are a few more things that is hard to miss. One of that is river Sarayu. So there's a river in Ayodhya, and the name of the river is Sarayu. And the Sarayu river, it is said, it is believed that from the tears of Lord Ram comes this river Sarayu. And this river is known as flowing Lord Ram. Behta Hua Ram, in Hindi it is called Behta Hua Ram. So this is a flowing Lord Ram of river Sarayu. There's also a very nice mural painting nearby where you can see that the river is flowing and you can see Lord Ram's image in that river. Some of you may have noticed in Ayodhya, especially in Diwali time, you may have seen the pictures that there is this specific ghat in Sarayu Ghat where more than 100,000 lamps are lit on Diwali. And so here's that Sarayu Ghat. It is right next to that river. It's on that river. And so, we were able to, fortunately, we were able to go there, get the darshan of Sarayu, and also take a few drops on our head. Now, just some interesting facts about Ayodhya I found out while I was there, is that when devotees do Ram Katha, when narrators talk about Ramayana, what they talk about is from the time that Lord Ram was born up to his Vivaha. He goes to Mithila, gets married to Mother Sita, brings her back to Ayodhya, and that's it. No more Ramayana after that. Nobody wants to have Ram go out of Ayodhya. Vanvas, what is that? Nobody has, everybody, most of the Kathakars actually have this feeling. Ram is here, I want to keep Ram here. Why would I want to take him away? So Lord Ram will stay. So most of the Ram Kathas that actually happen, it happens up to his Vivaha. And the Vivaha is a very significant thing that in Ayodhya, devotees, nobody organizes this. But devotee actually, they by their own thing, they actually get into like buses, 40 to 50 buses packed, and they all go to Mithila. And they all go to Mithila, and then there is like a huge celebration of Lord Ram Vivaha, and it just like is a big thing, and then they come back. So a lot of like mood out there is so much into the service of Lord Ram and Mother Sita. And of course, when we go to Ayodhya, it is hard to miss Hanuman Gadi temple. It's a 10th century temple, Hanuman Gadi, and you'll see on the right is the deity of Hanuman. And you can see that it's in a circle and his face. So it's Bal Hanuman's. He's a small child, and that's why his face is covered. He's sitting in the lap of his mother Anjani, and so he's Hanuman. And Hanumanji has been blessed with the service of protecting Ayodhya. Hanumanji is blessed by the service of protecting Ayodhya by the king of Ayodhya himself. Lord Ram himself told Hanuman, I want you to protect Ayodhya. A real life incident. 1998, on one particular day, there was a vehicle parked outside the temple. Nobody claimed it. Few hours went by. People noticed. Police was called. They took the vehicle to the police station. Some of the police inspectors, they actually saw that there was something in the vehicle that caught their eye. It was some kind of a powder. They examined it. It was RDX. RDX is a powder that is used to make bombs. Everybody was alarmed. There was an inspector, Avinash Mishra, I think. Avinash, I forget the last name. So, and this is a real life story, by the way. So then when he saw this, he immediately called out all the troops. Everybody went out to the temple. Everybody had a complete, looking at the temple saying, where is there a bomb? There must have been a bomb. And sure enough, by the enemies of India or enemies of, there was a bomb, in fact, that was placed in the temple. And everybody was going towards it. There was a monkey actually sitting right next to the bomb, or actually on the way. There was and the monkey was chewing on some wires. And everybody was so scary, bomb will go off and the monkey will die. And they were trying to feed prasadam to the monkey to say, hey, here, take some banana, take some fruity, please move away. It's a very dangerous place. We are here to defuse the bomb. All bomb diffusers were there. And there was a timer on the bomb, right? And so the timer was clicking down. And so long story short, just a few seconds before the actual, 3 seconds? Just 3 seconds before the bomb was going to be blown, it was determined by the bomb diffusing squad that the wire was itself cut. The wire to the bomb itself was cut. And who was the one who actually cut that wire? It was a monkey. Hanumanji knows how to protect. What RDX? Nothing in front of Hanumanji, nothing. So anyways, that was our trip to Ayodhya Dham. Very memorable, very cherished. Lot of mood. It was so uplifting. The environment itself is, you just go out there and everybody is chanting, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. It was so uplifting. So from there, then we made our way on to the Char Dham. Yes. And the monkeys, can I share a little bit? The monkeys of Ayodhya are very well mannered. They are very calm and serene and satisfied and composed, unlike monkeys of Vrindavan. So I have not read this anywhere, but my realization is, Lord Ram is peaceful, right? So his servants, his monkeys are also peaceful. Krishna is full of mischief. So the monkeys are also full of mischief in Vrindavan. So like that. So then in Char Dhams, so here's at the bottom left is New Delhi. And so from New Delhi, there are these Char Dhams. You make our way up to, depending on where you go, you can go up to Haridwar, you can go up to Rishikesh. And then from there, you can actually go to the Char Dham. These are the 4 temples right there. The Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath and Badrinath. And so there are ways of going out there. And all of these areas is pretty much hilly. Like right after Mussoorie is already a hill station. Most of us know this. But right after Mussoorie, from Dehradun to Mussoorie, you go here. This is all Barkot. All of this area is all in the Himalayas. So all of this driving that you would do is all mountainous driving. And sometimes the roads are good, and sometimes the road is not as good. But all the devotees, they reach there. The enrouting to the Char Dham, again, I was more of a map showing you that there are different ways to reach. Some of the key places are places where devotees take a stop and then they go and visit the temple. So just a quick, what is Char Dham? As I said, they are these 4 dhams in the land of Uttarakhand. It is known as the land of God. It's known as Dev Bhumi. And there are these 4 temples, Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath and Badrinath. They are on a very high altitude. And I'll tell you what those altitudes are. They're on a very high altitude. And because of that high altitude, and the weather that tends to be unpredictable at those altitudes, the temples actually are shut for 6 months and then they open for 6 months. So they open in April, May time frame, and then October, November-ish, again they'll shut. So it is believed that we should go and visit the Char Dham in a clockwise direction. That's why we start from Yamunotri and Gangotri and then Kedarnath and finally Badrinath. So in that clockwise direction, when we go to Yamunotri is the source of Mother Yamuna, River Yamuna. We all know Yamuna Maya. So, and the Yamunotri temple is actually located, it's in a narrow gorge. It's close to where the River Yamuna actually starts. River Yamuna is the sacred river. And then we go to Gangotri. So Gangotri is where is the source of River Ganga. And actually there it is called Bhagirathi. I'll speak a little bit about that. So very sacred river, obviously we all know, Ganga Jal we get. Then comes Kedarnath. And Kedarnath is located in the Rudraprayag district of Uttarakhand. And it is dedicated to Lord Shiva. And there is a pastime there that I'll share as well. And in Badrinath is actually dedicated to Lord Vishnu. It's dedicated to Lord Vishnu. So this Char Dham Yatra is very divine and it's arduous, but it really is fulfilling to the soul. Couple of more points about the Char Dham Yatra from a spiritual standpoint, from a spiritual significance standpoint. Visiting these places is believed to provide spiritual purification and blessings and an opportunity for spiritual growth. And it allows us to connect with the faith and deepen the spiritual practices and seek divine blessings. So there's the glories of actually going and visiting the Char Dhams. And also, it is said that undertaking this journey contributes towards the attainment of moksha, which is the liberation from the cycle of birth and death. And it is believed that when we visit these revered pilgrimage sites, we can purify the soul, we can gain a lot of spiritual benefit and progress on the path of salvation. Of course, as devotees, we would like to all progress towards more and more of Krishna Bhakti. So we start with the Yamunotri temple. So Yamunotri is at an elevation of 10,800 feet. And so there's a 6-kilometer trek that you take up to go all the way up to the Yamunotri, to the Yamunotri site. And there we have this temple that is constructed. We get darshan of Mother Yamuna. Here's the deity. And Mother Yamuna, we know she's the daughter of Surya and Sanchana. And she's also the sister of Yamaraj. Yamaraj is one of the 12 Mahajans. He's a great devotee of the Lord. So, Yamuna Maya is right here. Yamuna Maya ki! Yes. So, this is the deity of Yamuna Maya temple. Yamunotri temple, excuse me. And here are some pictures from the river Yamuna at the source. At the bottom left, you look, there's where the Yamuna river is flowing. And on the bottom right, you'll notice, look at this area. Look at the bottom right area. You can actually see the rocks below the water, how clear the water is. And of course, we know what happens when it comes to Delhi and then it goes to Vrindavan. But Yamuna is very, very, is a very sacred river because we all know what, when the Mother Yamuna comes to Vrindavan, our dear Lord Krishna sports a lot of pastimes in Yamuna. Next, we went to Gangotri temple. And so Gangotri is 11,200 feet, even further up. And so here we have the temple as well as the Mother Ganga deity. You see in the back is where the river is flowing. And it's flowing at such a high current that it's just you look at it and it's like hard. If anybody were to step in to take a dip, flown away. That's how high the current is. So at Gangotri, the name is Bhagirathi. Some of you know Maharaj Bhagirath, the pastime around Maharaj Bhagirath. A lot of people in his ancestors, they tried to invite Mother Ganga to the earth, were not successful. Bhagirathi actually was successful. His prayers were heard. And so Mother Ganga actually came. So when the river actually came to Gangotri, at that point it is known as Bhagirathi. And then when she flows through Dev Prayag, then the name changes to Ganga. But up until that point, there is Bhagirathi. And there is also a stream that actually flows by, and there is that stream, another stream of this Bhagirathi, and there it is known as Alakhananda. There is another stream that flows by, it is known as Alakhananda. This water here is glacier cold, not ice cold, glacier cold. Some devotees, they actually take, and then they take the water, and then they put a few, I should say, mugs or buckets, not buckets. It'll be just like a couple of on their head. Again, it is to take, as good as taking a dip in the Ganga water. Then we went to Kedarnath. Kedarnath is further up, 11,700 feet. And Kedarnath, the Shivling here, dedicated to Lord Shiva, this Kedarnath Shivling is actually one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. And there's a very interesting pastime of Kedarnath. And that is that when the Pandavas, were thinking of retiring and, basically just going out to get some, get some dham darshan and things like that. So after the Pandavas retired, they said, okay, let me just go on my way. And this was after all the, the other dynasty and everything was done. So the Pandavas decided, okay, now it's time to retire. So they were walking and they were trying to go to this place and they were trying to get the darshan of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva knew he was, obviously testing their devotion. So what Lord Shiva did is that, he knew Pandavas are coming. So he transformed himself, Lord Shiva transformed himself into a bull. And then he tried to, get in the earth. And so this shivling that we see is the hump of that bull. So Bhim actually saw that Lord Shiva was trying to get in, Antardhyan is called, he's trying to get into the earth. But he actually went and he got a hold of and then he prayed. But at that time, Lord Shiva was already gone. So therefore this shivling actually remained. It's called as Kedarnath. So then after that, they constructed a temple and it's called Kedarnath temple. And again, what Bhim did is he said, okay, he actually put a Bhim Shila and he said this Bhim Shila will protect the temple. And that's known as it's a huge rock. Bhim actually just picked up and placed it there. It's a huge rock. And so, actually I have a picture of that. So this is the temple. So this is the temple here. And this huge rock right there is known as a Bhim Shila. And he put it out there because the Bhim Shila would actually protect the Kedarnath temple. Fast forward to 2013. Huge floods. Absolutely devastating. So much amount of ice from the Himalayas melted and it was flowing down. Lot of devastation. So when that huge body of water was flowing down from the Himalayas to the temple, this rock actually came by and it got placed just behind the temple, just like you're seeing here right now. And so when the water came and hit the rock, the water actually split into two. And it went from both sides of the temple. And so the temple had no damage. And the devotees who were actually in the temple were safe and sound. But obviously, a lot of other villages and houses and things like that, they were not able to. So they went through. This is the Kedarnath temple again. We were out there. And then from Kedarnath, actually at that point of time, Narad Muni had come, like Pandavas when they were trying to, say, okay, Lord Shiva is here, so Lord Shiva is now going. So Narad Muni actually came and he said, if you're looking to wash away your sins, you should make your way onto Goloka. So Narad Muni told that to the Pandavas. So Pandavas then started making on their way to Badrinath. And on the way to Badrinath, very interesting pastime actually happened. And that interesting pastime happened at Hanuman Chatti. At Hanuman Chatti, Bhim was actually very proud of his strength, of his valor. He was very proud of that. So at that location, on the way to Badrinath, in Hanuman Chatti, Hanumanji actually was there, sitting like a very old, feeble, completely grey monkey. He was sitting out there like that. And his long tail was in the pathway of Bhim. So when Bhim saw that, he said, hey, move your tail away. Like, excuse me, what? Move your tail away. I'm too old. I can't move myself, barely. Why don't you move my tail away? It's your tail. You move it away. I can't move, please. If you're so young and powerful, why don't you move my tail? Okay. It's just, a job of my left hand. I'll pick it up and I'll throw it away. So Bhim he tries to grab a hold of the tail and he's trying to move and he can't even move 0.1 of an inch. You're like, there's a problem. Then he tries with all his might. No. He said, okay, maybe right hand. Still no. Maybe both my hands. And he still tried to lift the tail. And he said, still no. And then Bhim gets humbled. And then he says, you're not an ordinary monkey. Please accept my prayers and reveal yourself. And then Hanumanji revealed himself. And then he says, you're Hanumanji, please bless me. I'm so sorry. And then anyways, Bhim was humbled. he learned his, he learned his lesson not to have the pride. Basically, be humble in spite of however much strength you may have. So Bhim then said that, we are going to have a war. So actually, this Hanuman Chatti thing actually happened before when the war was going to happen. So then at the time, he said, can you help us? And we all know that Hanumanji was on the flag of Arjun's chariot. So anyway, so then, we all go on further to Badrinath. And so here the elevation is 10,800 feet. And here this temple is dedicated to Lord Vishnu. And here he is known as Lord Badri Vishal. Everybody goes around saying, Badri Vishal ki jai, jai Badri Vishal. So here again we have the darshan of Badrinath ji, Lord Badri Vishal ji. And here's a temple. And from the temple, about half an hour away, approximately half an hour driving distance, is a place called Mana village. It's the last village before the border of India actually comes. So you go further into the Himalayas, then obviously if you go any further than that, there is India's border. So the last village is known as a Mana Gaon. Very interesting, Mana Gaon. In that village are located a few things. So the first is Vyas Gufa. Vyas Gufa is the place where Srila Vyasadeva actually wrote the Vedas. This is the place. Srila Vyasadeva, he actually wrote the Vedas, he wrote this Mahabharata. And there's actually a huge rock, and the rock is basically lines on it. And so all those lines are essentially the pages of the Mahabharata. It's like huge. In Kali Yuga, they have transformed into that rock so that they can be preserved, but they are pages of Mahabharata. And also nearby is Ganesh Gufa. And we know the pastime. Ganeshji, here, in this place, the 18 Puranas and the Mahabharata were composed in this Ganesh Gufa, like that. And so Ganeshji here was the one who was actually writing. So we know the pastime, right? Vyasadeva was narrating, and he said, I need a scribe. So Ganeshji was the scribe, and he said, okay, I'll write down. And so at that point of time, Ganesh, he heard everything, and then he said, okay, I'm going to write it down. He was writing everything down, and this is the place, Ganesh Gufa, and this is all in that Mana village. So Vyasa Gufa is here, Ganesh Gufa is here. And nearby, there was a river Saraswati, Mother Saraswati. And so we know about the pastime of Mother Saraswati, where she was making a lot of noise. And when we went out there, actually that is true. Mother Saraswati is so loud, it's hard to have a conversation. You have to raise your voice to actually have a conversation. And so Mother Saraswati, when she was disturbing Ganeshji, so Ganeshji was disturbed. Srila Vyasadeva got to know about, oh, you're disturbing. So he cursed Mother Saraswati and he said, you just go and flow below the earth. And so immediately from that point, so it's very, very rare to get this darshan of Mother Saraswati. It's right up in Managaon, and that's where we got this darshan. When the Pandavas were actually walking on their way to Swargaloka, they were actually crossing all of these rivers. So at that point of time, it was hard for Draupadi because she looked at Mother Saraswati river, and Draupadi couldn't cross. And she was scared. So what Bhim did is, he said, hey, no problem. I'll just pick a rock and I'll place it in between these two. So now you have a bridge. So you look at this bridge, this huge rock. This is actually called as a Bhim Pull. This is the bridge that Bhim actually built. He didn't build it using bricks and cements and stones. He just took a rock and he posted there. Here, this is the bridge. Now you can walk over it. You can look at these lines. Pay attention to these lines right here. You see these lines right there? Those are the fingerprints of Bhim. You see those lines? All these lines right here. These are Bhim's fingerprints. That is how gigantic Bhim was. And just so that you have one more idea of how giant Bhim was, here is the imprint of Bhim's right hand. Now let me draw this out for you. Okay, so right hand, okay? So this is the base of the palm, and you know how this palm actually, when you put on a sand, for instance, it creates like it creates a dent, right? So This at the bottom here is the base of the palm. And then this is his right thumb. This is his first finger. And second. And third. And then he goes like that. Now do you see Bhim's imprint? So this rock must be at least 20 or 30 feet high. If Bhim's right palm can be imprinted, how large Bhim must be? So that was something really interesting we got to get darshan of. And then that basically, we were done with the Char Dham, we were on the way back. Actually on the way there we had stopped over at Rishikesh. And at Rishikesh, there is this majestic arati of Mother Ganga at Triveni Ghat. At Triveni Ghat they do this arati. And this is done in, simultaneously. 7 pujaris will actually get together and they have these huge lamps. And we must have seen videos, they actually do this arati of Mother Ganga. And there are devotees who are singing in the back, and it's a very nice thing. Goes on for about 20 minutes. It's an absolute thing to watch. I got interested in actually the Aarti paraphernalia. And so I walked up to one of the pujaris and I said, can I take a picture of the Aarti paraphernalia? So I got a picture of the Aarti paraphernalia, but then I said, let me actually put a picture of the actual lamp. The lamp is this huge. The lamp is this big. And the lamp gets hot. So it's got ghee and camphor, and it gets hot for such a big lamp. So you see, there are these little towels they have had in their hand. What they do is, they take these little towels, they go to the Ganga, because Ganga water is cold. Even in Rishikesh, Haridwar, cold. So they go to Ganga, and they completely soak the towel in the river, and then they squeeze a little bit, enough that it doesn't drip, but enough that it provides some kind of an insulation from the heat this lamp generates. So all of those 7 pujaris, they'll actually take this thing, put it, and then, this lamp is so heavy. You'll see that it's so heavy. So this person, he's holding it from the bottom. Initially, they'll hold it from the top. Then they'll hold it from the bottom. So they'll change positions because the lamp is so heavy. And with the changing position, they'll have these towels, 2 towels. They'll place it on the top. They'll place it at the bottom because it gets so hot. So this is like an absolutely, really majestic thing to watch. It's so blissful to watch the Aarti of Mother Ganga. And Mother Ganga is like flowing right there. So Ganga ji is flowing and Aarti is actually happening. So this Aarti at Triveni Ghat is absolutely mind-blowing. And so from Rishikesh, then we came to Haridwar. And in Haridwar, this is again Ganga ji right there flowing. And so in Ganga ji here, this was the place where we stayed. And so they had like a ghat that was built up. And you could have, you can take dips, you can do Aarti, you can do, they'll allow you to do Aarti of Ganga ji and so forth. So this is actually at Haridwar. And so we actually concluded our Char Dham Yatra. Again, we started from Haridwar and then we came back to Haridwar. We again did the Aarti of Ganga ji. And then from there, we made our way back home. So all of this Char Dham Yatra was done by the mercy of Radha Golokananda. We are so grateful to Shri Radha Golokananda, Srila Prabhupada, for allowing us to complete the yatra. We missed Radha Golokananda and we are very, very glad to be back here at their service. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Does anybody have any questions? We have a couple of minutes. Yeah, there was a lot to cover, so I had to pick a few things. So walking distances, in Yamunotri, it's a 6-kilometer trek. In Kedarnath, it's a 16-kilometer trek. Gangotri, the car can go up to the temple or in the parking lot. Badrinath also same thing, car can go up to the temple parking lot. But Yamunotri, it's a incline 6 kilometers and Kedarnath is incline 16 kilometers. So, full disclosure, I did not take that 16-kilometer trek. I actually used the helicopter. The helicopter also is very dicey actually. Depends on the weather. So when we were out there, we were basically prepared and we were like praying intensely for no matter what would happen. Fortunately, the weather was fine and we were able to take the helicopter. But when we went up there to Kedarnath, it was so much of a crowd and it was so hard to get into the temple that at one point I was thinking that, we made it this far, we were in the temple premises, but whether or not we'll actually be able to get inside and get Kedarnath Ji's darshan, that is a whole different story. Getting up to Kedarnath is one story and getting the darshan of Kedarnath is another story. So we were praying intensely, please Kedarnath Ji, Baba, please allow us to get your darshan, So I go up to this one, there was a lot of police arrangement obviously because so many people get there and it becomes sometimes uncontrollable and stampede and things like that do happen. So there was a lot of police arrangement, very nicely done. So I walk up to one of this and I said, Sarji, aaj ki vapsi hai. Like I have a return flight for today only. He said, okay, go. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I would like to get darshan. He's like, wo nahi hoga. Okay, then there was another pujari contact that I had received from somebody. So I called up that pujari. I said, Pujari ji, darshan honge? Aaj nahi honge. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm getting in real anxiety. I'm thinking, not the police guy, not this guy. I'm like, what do I do? When then I'm praying, everybody, we are praying intensely. Kedarnath Baba, please give us your darshan. And at that point of time, there was this one pujari, he was walking, and Radharangini actually saw him. And that pujari was like, very by himself, no, nothing, no shosha, nothing like that, just completely humble, just walking alone. And so she said, talk to him. I said, okay. I talked to him. I said, Pandit ji, darshan ho jayenge? Darshan ho jayenge. किसी से कुछ कहिएगा ना? मैंने कहा नहीं कहेंगे किसी से. I will not say anything to anyone. Please give me your darshan. And then he gave us. Yeah, but now we are outside of Kedarnath. So anyway, so he gave us darshan. And he actually arranged for it in a very nice way. Even though it was so crowded, he actually was able to keep all of us together. We were able to go out there. We were able to offer Ganga Jal, ghee, flowers, all those paraphernalia to Shivji, offered our obeisances, actually, and were able to do that. So, yeah, so Kedarnath was really interesting. So the person that I was talking to, the travel agent that I was working, he had different packages. He had an itinerary and it is possible for you to customize the itinerary. So he had different packages. So depending on which package you choose, there are different Lakshmi. But that is for just the money he needs to make your hotel reservations, car reservations. So for us, he had a car. We had actually a dedicated car and a dedicated driver. And so for 12 days, that was available to us. And we were able to go wherever, which are all the 4 temples, all the hotels. Hotels were like, he had made the booking, dinner and breakfast included. And the hotels were all nice hotels. They served sattvic food, no onion, garlic kind of stuff. But it was really nice. And then also he made the reservations for the helicopters, if that was available, based on the weather. So all of that was done. So there are different packages, Mataji. I can share with you the packages if you are interested. Also, I can share with you his contact. So, in fact, anybody who's interested, I can share the contact of that. Yes? Okay, there has to be, yes, Mataji. There must be an efficient way to get all the people who are interested in the Char Dham Yatra. But my point is, in addition to all of those things, you need to take some cash, because there is no ATM up there, and all the transactions that happen actually happens in cash. So some Indian phone, yeah, the Indian phone works. So we had an India, but actually WhatsApp sometimes will not work. Yeah, because that is actually a problem. Yeah, there is a whole registration process. Indian government is very strict about people who go out there, and even the police actually are out there with all the posts when you are driving up, even in Dehradun, Mussoorie, no matter where you go, all the entry points to the Char Dham, you need to be registered and you need to show your registration at all those posts. Any health things that you may have, you have to declare that ahead of time. Because of the altitude, some people may have altitude problems. So there are some medications available, so you need to take that. So there's some preparation involved. There's also rocky terrain when you actually make the climb up. So you need like strong, sturdy shoes to be able to make that climb. Kedarnath and Gangotri, not so much Gangotri, but Kedarnath and Badrinath at high altitude. So the temperature there is like in the 40s. So you need like winter jacket. When you come down to Haridwar, then the temperature is in the 100. So you need a lot of clothing preparation to be able to do that. So that is needed. So anyways, this travel agent, he actually gives you a complete list of all the preparations that you need. He gives you a full detailed itinerary. He tells you all the temples and the places to visit, get the darshan, he'll do everything. So he was, and he actually, I mean, I'm not advocating for him, but actually when I found him, he actually does the yatra every year himself to get an update on what road conditions are, and if there's any construction coming up, if there's any closures coming up, any hotels or anything that have been newly built or something like that. So he does that kind of a thing himself. So if you're interested, then please, I would say, just send me a WhatsApp message and I can reply to you with his contact information. Anything else? I think that's it. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you everyone for joining us. Nice to see a nice turnout today. Welcome everyone. And are there anyone here for the first time? Please raise your hands. Okay, okay, very nice. Very nice, okay. A few of you we welcomed earlier, and that is Rasapriya Mataji, right? Rasapriya Mataji, she's visiting from Suva, Fiji, yeah. So let's welcome Rasapriya Mataji, she's visiting from Fiji. Anyone else here for the first time? If you're here for the first time, please stop by our table where we have our Bhagavad Gita next to a prasadam table, and we can take your contact information so that we can keep you updated about the upcoming events and our festivals that's happening at New Goloka. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us. And as I mentioned, upcoming this coming Saturday, depending on the weather, if the weather is good, mostly we'll have our New Goloka community picnic. So stay tuned. It'll be Saturday afternoon. Okay, perfect time. So we're going to. So today is we are observing the Tirobhav of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, and one of the bhajans that he actually sang was the favorite of everyone. I mean, all his Bengali bhajans are so sweet, and this particular was just like the best of all. He used to sing the Gopi Geet. This is from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10 canto, 31st chapter. And we are just going to play this short clip so that we all can be purified by this beautiful voice and devotion of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. And this is just like 5 minutes video, and then we'll proceed downstairs and we'll have prasadam for everyone, dinner prasadam. Evening Artik will be at 7 o'clock, and then darshan will close at 7:30. Thank you all so much. Hare Krishna. His Holiness Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj ki Hare Krishna. So thank you everyone for joining us. Our next prasadam is prasadam downstairs. Our next program is prasadam downstairs. So let's proceed downstairs.